On October 5, 2012, a 10-year-old girl disappeared over a few hundred meters between her house and school in a quiet Colorado neighborhood. How far did a 17-year-old teenager go to turn this ordinary walk to school into a national nightmare? On the high plains of Colorado, where the air is dry and as sharp as a clear blade, lies the city of Westminster. A suburb of tidy houses, lawns trimmed to perfection, low school buildings lined with flags. In the morning, lines of children with colorful backpacks cross the quiet streets under the vast sky of the Rockies. It's a land of habits, a land where people think they know every face that passes by. Among these children, there is a little 10-year-old girl born in 2002. Her name is Jessica Ridgeway. She wears glasses. Her hair is blonde. She walks fast, as if time already belongs to her. She is in 5th grade, the equivalent of our CM2, at Witt Elementary School. The school is not far, just a few streets. A simple route, repetitive, almost ritual. She lives with her mother, Sarah Ridgeway, in a modest house in Westminster, in Jefferson County. A house like so many others, set in a subdivision of quiet streets, straight sidewalks, widely spaced streetlights. Sarah works nights as a technician in a data center. She watches over the servers when the city sleeps. Then, in the morning, she is the one who collapses, overcome by sleep. Jessica also spends time at her maternal grandmother's house. Her father, Jeremiah Bryant, lives far away in Missouri. The ties still exist, but the miles weigh heavily. The miles separate. That morning, the friend's mother is indeed there. The friend is there too. They look at the sidewalks, the street corners. They watch for Jessica's silhouette, that little body recognizable among all, her light hair, her glasses. Time goes by. The seconds stretch out. The familiar small figure does not appear. They wait some more, a little longer. The human mind struggles against anxiety, looks for simple explanations. Maybe Jessica stayed home. Maybe she is sick. Maybe it's a trivial setback. Doubt lingers, but routine imposes its law. Eventually, the friend and her mother head toward the school again, without Jessica. They walk to Witt Elementary School. They enter the building where the bells set the pace of the morning. They do not notify the police. They do not call Sarah right away. In their minds, Jessica's absence can still be explained. Nothing fully raises the alarm. Nothing yet screams that fate has just veered off course. At Witt Elementary, the day begins. The students settle in. The teachers call out names, record who is present and who is absent. Jessica's name may ring out in a classroom. No one answers. Her absence is marked down. Her mother is not contacted immediately. The procedures in force at the time leave a delay, a window in which the shadow can grow. In the house, Sarah sleeps. The day moves forward without her. No call pulls her from her sleep. No message from the school comes to break the silence of her room. Outside, cars go by, neighbors come out, parks come to life. No one yet knows that time already matters, that every minute swallowed by this calm morning pushes the truth a little farther away. It is only in the early afternoon that Sarah wakes up. She pulls herself out of the artificial night of her job, out of the fatigue that grips her. She expects to find signs of her daughter, a bag set down, shoes left lying around, a noise in another room. But the house is empty. An emptiness that, at first, says nothing. She looks around. She calls out. Jessica does not answer. No message from the school is waiting for her. No notification, no voice on the other end of the line to tell her, your daughter is not in class. Then, little by little, a different kind of cold fills her. A cold that has nothing to do with the Colorado air. An inner chill, a premonition. She picks up her phone. She dials the number of Witt Elementary School. Her voice on the line asks, checks, already refusing what she knows deep down. The answer comes, heavy. Jessica did not come to class that day. Her desk remained empty. It is still October 5th, 2012. The afternoon has just begun when the police machinery starts up. The report is taken, written down. The officers quickly grasp the gravity. A 10-year-old child disappeared on the way to school, with no history of running away, no known violent conflict, no record of repeated disappearances. Nothing that would allow this to be classified as a teenage whim. No, this is a worrying disappearance, a missing child. No hesitation. The case does not fall into the category of runaways. From the outset, it enters the dark realm of possible abductions. The Westminster patrol units are alerted. Police vehicles roam the streets, probe blind spots, drive again along the route Jessica usually takes. They contact the schools. They call the family, friends, the grandmother, the close neighbors. They check the places the child usually goes. No sign. Very quickly, the police issue a local media alert. Denver media outlets received the description. A 10-year-old girl, blonde hair, glasses, approximate height and weight. That morning, she is carrying a purple backpack. She has with her a water bottle, a distinctive lunchbox that everyone, from now on, comes to recognize as a symbol. Jessica's image crosses the screens. Her face appears on televisions, on news websites, on the nascent social networks. The first search procedures are deployed. Officers grid the neighborhood. They search the parks, inspect vacant lots, probe the wooded areas near the home, near the route to school. Groups move between the low trees, scan the ditches, call the girl's first name into the air that is already cooling. The sun slides down. The shadows lengthen. The community responds. Neighbors, parents of students, members of the town join the search. They receive instructions from the police, move forward in a line, look in every nook, behind every fence. Everyone hopes to find her quickly, standing, perhaps frightened, but alive. Everyone fights against the idea that something else may have happened. The authorities know, however, that time is running out. A child gone missing on the way to school in a city like this requires broader resources. Westminster requests assistance from the FBI. The Federal Bureau of Investigation comes into play. Specialists in child abductions and violent crimes join local forces and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. A mobile command post is set up in the Westminster area. A nerve center, packed with radios, maps, screens, tense faces. From there, orders go out. Information flows back in. Testimonies are collected, searches are planned, and the thread of an investigation is held together that already threatens to split apart. Hours pass. Then come the first press conferences. In front of the microphones, under the cameras, the spokespeople of the Westminster Police Department speak. Neutral, controlled voices, but with tense expressions. They call for the public's help. They specify what they know, what they don't. They say the disappearance is being treated as suspicious. They weigh every word, because every word crosses the city limits and enters people's homes. Sarah Ridgeway also appears in the media. She talks about her daughter, what she loves, how she is. She asks that someone bring her back. Her voice trembles, but holds. She knows her pain must become a call. The father, Jeremiah Bryant, is reached in his other state. He cooperates with the authorities. He gives everything he can from a distance. Yet despite these waves of effort, the first 24, then 48 hours pass without any clearly identified suspect emerging. The police publicly admit it. No name, no face stands out. No vehicle is designated as certain. Only shadows, cars spotted too late, partial descriptions. Behind the maps pinned to the wall of the command post, a silent truth settles in. The enemy is there, somewhere, anonymous, lurking in the same everyday scenery. In the days that follow, the search intensifies. They no longer limit themselves to the immediate neighborhood. Teams methodically cover residential areas, parks, ditches, open land around Westminster and in neighboring towns. Line by line, they sweep the dry grass, the embankments. Helicopters circle above the rooftops. The noise of the rotors sometimes drowns out the calls shouted from the ground. Specialized resources come into play. Canine units, tracking dogs with noses pointed to the ground, look for a trace of Jessica. They follow scents that fray in the dry air. Sometimes they stop, hesitate, move on again. Search and rescue teams push into the rougher areas. The FBI coordinates with Westminster Police and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. A discreet army, dressed in fluorescent vests, moves through this suburb that no longer quite looks like itself. Investigators knock on doors. Door after door, they question neighbors, parents of students, school staff, bus drivers, local shopkeepers. Has anyone seen Jessica? Has anyone noticed a strange car, an unknown person hanging around, an unusual movement? The accounts pile up, sometimes contradict one another, forming a confused mosaic that they try to put in order. They also request the recordings, the surveillance videos from businesses, equipped homes, traffic lights. Hours of footage scroll across the screens. Anonymous silhouettes, ordinary cars, life going by. Among these images, investigators are looking for one precise moment, the one where Jessica's path veers into the shadows. On October 7, 2012, 2 days after the disappearance, fate widens its field. In Superior, Colorado, in Boulder County, a resident is walking near a residential complex. The landscape changes a bit. Fields, grassy areas, an edge between urbanization and bare land. There, in a field or grassy area, he sees something, an object that shouldn't be there. A bag, a purple backpack, and, not far away, a water bottle or a lunchbox abandoned in the grass. The colors clash with the dull tones of the ground. The man goes closer. He recognizes the shape, the style, maybe even the pattern. For 2 days, the media have been broadcasting the image of a purple backpack. The blood drains from his face. Superior is about 10 to 12 miles from Westminster, around 15 kilometers. It's not a simple detour. It's a significant displacement. Someone took Jessica's belongings, transported them, then abandoned them there. The search perimeter suddenly explodes. It extends to Superior and the surrounding areas. Boulder County law enforcement joined the effort more directly. 3 days later, on October 10, 2012, another call hits the command post. This time, it's near Arvada, another city in Jefferson County, not far from Westminster. In an industrial area or a field near Indiana Street and 86th Parkway, officers or workers discover a body. A child's body. The scene is bleak. Industrial buildings, vacant lots, a horizon line cut by metal structures. There, in the middle of this graceless setting, the eye falls on what no one ever wants to see. The body is not intact. Dismembered, the authorities say. But they don't give details. They protect what can still be protected. The body is transported to the Jefferson County Coroner's Office. Two protocols cross paths, that of science and that of mourning. They talk about autopsy, identification, but no one officially yet speaks Jessica's name. Not without proof. Not without the certainty that the tragedy has reached its darkest end. In public, the police simply announce, a child's body has been found. A formal identification is underway. Westminster holds its breath. Faces close up. You can sense what everyone dreads. But as long as the DNA hasn't spoken, there remains a crack of hope. Tiny, almost indecent, but still there. On October 12, 2012, science decides. The DNA speaks, implacable, neutral. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation, or an associated lab, compares genetic profiles. The result is unambiguous. The body found in Arvada is that of Jessica Ridgeway. Institutions react. The city of Westminster expresses its support. The school district publishes messages of condolence. Local authorities bow before the pain of a family, a school, a community. But the investigation does not stop. On the contrary, it hardens. From now on, they are talking about kidnapping and murder. The alert stays in place. The call for witnesses is renewed. The murderer is out there somewhere, in this same region where people keep going to work, dropping children off at school, doing their shopping. The FBI treats the case as a child abduction, a possible violation of federal laws. The classification changes the angle, opens up other means, other skills. Investigators focus on the figure they still don't have. The man who, on the morning of October 5th, tore Jessica from her path. They comb through the physical evidence. On the backpack, on the water bottle, at the discovery sites, they collect fibers, traces, biological fragments. On the body, they gather everything the murderer left behind to spite himself. Every microfragment becomes a weapon. At the same time, they speak to the community. They ask, report any suspicious behavior. A car that suddenly disappears. A neighbor who changes appearance, routine. Someone close who was inexplicably absent on October 5th, who becomes nervous at the sight of the news. The investigation insinuates itself into homes, into conversations, into silences. Looking at the thread of recent cases, Westminster police reopen a file that had so far been dormant. On May 22, 2012, a young jogger, an adult woman, reported having been attacked in Westminster by a man who tried to overpower her with a cloth soaked in a chemical substance. She managed to escape. The investigation opened at the time had not led to an arrest. What remained was a partial description of the attacker, an idea of a vehicle. A ghost. After Jessica's murder, this ghost begins to take a possible shape. Same area, same town. An attacker who targets a woman, then, months later, a child. That May 2012 case is re-examined. They look for links in modus operandi, location, profile. The police talk about it publicly. A link is possible, but nothing is confirmed yet. But DNA does not confine itself to a single crime. They also compare it with what was preserved from the assault on the jogger on May 22, 2012. And then the truth bursts forth, naked, without escape. The DNA profile found in the Jessica Ridgeway case is the same as that from the attempted abduction of the jogger. The same man. One and the same person tried to neutralize a woman with a cloth soaked in some substance, then kidnapped and killed Jessica. Two cases converge, like two dark rivers that merge. The FBI profilers step more deeply into the arena. They build a portrait, a man living or working in the area. Someone who knows the school schedules, the routes, the routines. Maybe a young adult. Maybe someone who blends in so well that no one notices him anymore. They don't give a face, but a psychological outline. The police publish targeted elements. They talk about the type of vehicle potentially being sought. They describe suspicious behaviors, sudden changes in appearance, in car, in routine. They open dedicated phone lines, tip lines, where people can call anonymously. Very quickly, hundreds of pieces of information pour in. Names, suspicions, grudges sometimes. Investigators sort, refine, work day and night to extract from this flow one solid thread. In some cases, the police go further. They ask men in the area, targeted according to specific criteria, to provide a DNA sample. They conduct a kind of genetic sweep, trying to match a face to an invisible print. Everyone feels the net tightening, but no one yet knows around whom. And then, on October 22, 2012, 11 days after Jessica's death was confirmed, fate strikes from an unexpected place. Not in a dark alley, not during a routine stop, but from inside a house, from the heart of a family. In Westminster, in a residential neighborhood, lives a teenager named Austin Reed Sigg. He is 17 years old. He lives with his mother, Mindy Sigg, in a house just a few miles from Jessica's home. He, too, belongs to this suburban landscape. He has been there, always, among the others. At the station, no one takes this lightly. Units from the Westminster Police Department are immediately deployed to the Sigg residence. A security perimeter is established. No one knows what awaits behind those walls. An armed suspect? A trap? A teenager in distress? The search begins. Room by room, officers search the house, the basement, the vehicles. They seize computer equipment, suspicious objects, biological samples. Each item is logged, packaged. Because now, an admission is no longer enough. There must be proof. Reality itself must come and confirm what this teenager has suddenly thrown into the world. A DNA sample is taken from Austin Sigg. Technicians compare his profile to the mysterious one the investigation has been chasing for weeks. The answer is not long in coming. Austin Sigg's DNA matches perfectly the male profile found in the Jessica Ridgeway case. It also matches that from the attempted abduction of the jogger on May 22, 2012. On October 23, 2012, the Westminster Police Department publicly announces the arrest of a suspect, Austin Reed Sigg, 17 years old. He is linked to the kidnapping and murder of Jessica Ridgeway, as well as to the assault on the jogger. The mystery that, for days, had ravaged the region suddenly tightens around one single face. A youthful face, familiar with these streets, these sidewalks, these schools.